Guys, this is Limitless, and I am back for part 5 of my Learning Python series. And today we are going to be going over something that's one of my favorites actually in Python, because I feel like if statements really expand your knowledge like a ton, and it's honestly so simple. And I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible and not go overly in depth with it, but the first thing to know about if statements is that it's basically like a statement that says if something is like true or false, then it will do something else. And I'm going to show you just what I mean by that. So if I have like a variable, like let's say problem, and I say this is equal to 5, and I want to create an if statement. So all I have to do is type if problem, which is technically 5, is greater than, let's say, 2. You have to also put a colon here, and then it will automatically indent. So every time you use an if or if else else if, and you use else, you always use a colon to basically end your line, and then the next line under that will always be indented. So if problem, which is our variable, and it's 5, is greater than 2, then we will print correct. And if I run this, it should work. As you can see, it printed correct to the output. So another thing that you can do with if statements is you can do ELIF, which really stands for otherwise. And you can also do else. Now, to explain what these mean and what they do, basically, if right here does not say true, right? If this does not happen, then it will say otherwise, and this will try to execute. But if both of these do not execute from top to bottom, then else will automatically execute no matter what. So the thing to know about else is that it's kind of like the last line of your if statement, and it does not rely on anything to be either true or false. It basically will just execute only if these two do not execute properly. And I'm going to show you exactly how these two work. And if I say something like, let's change this to less than, oh sorry, and if I say otherwise, which is elif problem is greater than 5, print correct with else if statement. And if I go to run this, you'll see I get this output because my problem here is 10, and as you can see, my code basically is running from top to bottom, and it's trying to figure out if this is correct, which it isn't. 10 is not less than 2, so it skips over to else if, and it says else if the problem, which is 10, is greater than 5, then it will print this. And as you can see, we got that. But now let's say I do else, and let's say both of these statements are incorrect, like this does not work and then this does not work. So let me just change this to this, and now none of these statements are true. So no matter what, it's going to go from here to here, and then it's going to go to else, print incorrect. If I go to run this, as you can see, we get incorrect, basically because these two are false, and there's no choice to be made except go to else. And like I said earlier, else is kind of like a last straw, kind of. It's like it most likely will execute every time when everything above it does not work correctly. And that's pretty much it for the if statements. There's a ton of things that you can do with if statements, especially with user input. Just to give a quick example, I could say something like name, which is my variable. I could say Jordan. I could create my if statement saying if name does not equal my string, which is Jordan, then I will print incorrect name. And let's say otherwise, if name equals Jordan, which is true, I will print correct name. And then typically when you have like if statements, a good little practice is you always want to include at least an else statement at the very end to basically prevent your program from crashing and getting errors. Because, for example, if let's say my name I don't know, was like a number or something, then automatically if I didn't have this else here, then these wouldn't execute because it wouldn't be correct, and essentially the program would just crash and run into most likely a syntax error. But to prevent that, in this case I would use else and print else statement. And if I run this, I will get correct name, because this right here did not go through because my name does not equal Jordan. Basically, if I put something like Jordan L, for example, now it's going to say incorrect name because my name is not what I'm specifying right here. But if I say just Jordan, it will say correct name because it's going to this otherwise, and my name does equal Jordan, and then it prints correct name. And yeah, that's pretty much how you would use user input with an if statement and else if and else. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below and I'll try to get back to you. And yeah, thanks for watching. With